Hi, I'm Danny Knightmare. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. And yeah, I'm in the Gory's bat cave all by myself today. She is not feeling well. Our son LOLZ had some friends over who were clearly sick, and we told him, "Hey, your friends are sick." But he knew better, and now he's sick. Now Gory's sick. Probably only a matter of time before I am sick. So everybody, give Gory a good old Care Bear stare. Same for LOLZ. Hopefully they feel better soon. And let me know if you can hear me. I think you can, right? All right, good. You can hear me. That's great. Who we got in the chat already? We got my lovely wife, Gory B Movie. We got Tatum Rose. How you doing, Tatum? We got Horror Tori. How you doing, Horror? Horror Tori. Yeah. And yeah. Ariel. Hey, Ariel. How you doing? Looks like we got some people in there. We got Brandon from Bedlam. Nice. All right. So we got the Gremlins all over the place, because if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you go over to Gory B Movies channel and see that we just did a discussion on her channel recently called about Gremlins being the best horror Christmas movie of all time, which the people from her audience voted it to be so. And you know, I don't mind keeping Gremlins up. I love Gremlins, but from one classic to a possible new Christmas classic, Violent Night. We just saw Violent Night last night. We also saw The Menu. Hey, Tatum, thanks for donating. Appreciate it. $2. Thanks. Appreciate it. Love it. She says, "Hey, Danny, I love you. Merry Xmas." Well, Merry Xmas to you too, Tatum. I hope everything's going well for you and yours. And you spend some great quality time with your family this weekend. And I don't know what about you, but it's like snowing crazy over here. So try and stay warm, depending on where you live. Maybe stay cool if you live somewhere warm. Hey, we got Christian Orr. What's up? How we doing, Christian? Ooh, and Dino from the Late Late Horror Show. How you doing, Dino? Nice. Cool people in there. So, recently just saw Violent Night last night, and I loved it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a horror movie by any means, but it is extremely violent, and there's some horrific gore in this movie. And it's a very odd, peculiar film. It's kind of like Die Hard, John Wick meets Home Alone, meets Bad Santa, plus your typical, I don't know, happy go feel lucky Santa's real movie, I guess, like the Santa Claus. There's a lot of people that try to kill Santa in this movie. I don't know if they know that if you kill Santa, then you become the new Santa. Tim Allen taught me that. um, yeah, so it's pretty fucking cool. We of course got David Harbour himself from playing Santa Claus, and I like that guy. He's great. This is a very bizarre movie, as I said, but I've seen Stranger Things than this movie. But he does a great job as Santa. Like, he is inner Billy Bob Thornton, or like basically he's just getting drunk. He doesn't care about the holidays anymore. But he, unlike Bad Santa, he is the real deal. He has reindeer. He has magic. He has a super sack full of toys. And he's at a bar in the very beginning of the movie. This mall Santa buys him a drink, pays for his drinks, and he gives the bartender a present for her grandson. And she's like, "How does he know I have a grandson? And how does he know my name?" And she goes to run out and yell at him, and because he went up the roof, she's like, "He falls and breaks his neck. I'm gonna get sued." So she goes up there and she's like, "Oh my god, he's real. He's Santa." And he like pukes all over. That's within the first like 2 minutes of the movie. So that's just kind of the tone that David Harbour is going to be portraying as Santa here. So he he's still a good guy deep down. He's delivering the toys to the kids, even though the naughty list just gets bigger and bigger. And all these kids, they just want video games and super excited to open their presents. But then it's like within 2 seconds, they just want another present. They want the next, exciting thing. They don't stay satisfied like they used to anymore. They weren't super happy just to get a cool toy, and don't cherish it anymore. It's usually like, "Oh, cool, what's next?" And I don't know. The Christmas spirit is just kind of destroyed in Santa in this film. But I think it's great. It was directed by Tommy Wirkola. Yeah, he did the The Trip, which was a bizarre movie. I liked that. If you haven't seen that, I think that came out like last year or maybe the year before. It has the girl from the original Dragon Tattoo, and she's an actress, and her husband's a writer director, and they go out to a cabin, and they basically just hate each other, and I think they plan to pretty much kill each other, but these other people show up and hold them hostages, and it just gets all crazy. And this movie's also about hostages because Santa's visiting a big fancy house out in the middle of nowhere by rich people. Um, you have a Beverly D'Angelo as Gertrude. She's like this rich old grandma. She was the mom in the vacation movies. So you know, she was great in those all those vacation movies. But she is kind of just wicked and rich and ruthless, and her family are just brown nosing her ass as usual. Kind of reminds me of that Michael J. Fox movie Greedy, where everybody just knows that the old rich guy is gonna like die soon, so they're just all being super nice to him. I guess they just all try to please her because she has all the money, but her security and staff are taken out and turn on her, and now they're all hostages. Uh, you got the main hostage, and the hostages or the terrorists are people holding them hostage. I don't know if they're technically terrorists, but they all don these crazy names. Like John Leguizamo was the leader, and his name is Scrooge. And then you got Frosty, and oh, you have that kid. What was his name? Brendan Fletcher. Yeah, he was the kid that is in Freddy versus Jason. He's the only one that Freddy killed. He plays Krampus in this, and he's hilarious. I mean, he's not really the real Krampus. That's just his code name, but he's funny as hell in it. But you got this main family. They're like kind of separated, and they kind of unite to go visit on the trip to grandma's and big old mansion. And they have a daughter named Trudy. Her name is also Gertrude, as her grandma's name is, but she just goes by Trudy, which grandma says that makes her sound like a whore. All right. Anyways, grandma's just delightful. But she just saw Home Alone recently, so when there's like these terrorist people take over, she sets up all these Home Alone traps, and it's like Home Alone, but a lot more realistic with how violent those traps would be. Like like some of them don't work because there's just stupid traps, but some of them work really well and like extremely gory. It's awesome. And well, Santa's there because he's delivering Trudy's present because she's been a good girl. She's one of the few people that's still on his nice list. But he also likes to drink, as we said, and so he breaks into Grandma's liquor cabinet. And he's getting wasted, and he gets kind of surprised by one of these guys with a gun, and they shoot off their gun and scares his reindeer away. And yeah, it goes sour for Santa real quick. He does have some magic, but not like eternal magic to the point where he still has to like literally fight people. He has a magic sack which he can pull out presents in, or if they try to stab him, he can hold it up and they'll stab into a present and pull it out. He can also go up chimneys, but he's a little drunk, so he's having a hard time doing that. And that'll only just send him up the chimney or down the chimney. It won't really do much other than that. It helps in a few scenarios, but yeah, he's pretty much just has to fight these terrorists too. And he kind of has a chance where he could probably just hoof it on leg and run away. But he's not going to abandon little Trudy, who's, basically at this point wants her wish to be her mom and dad to get better, but also not to be killed by these horrible people. And sat into like a Christmas Horror Story. Have you ever seen that where he fights Krampus and all those zombie elves? This Santa too deserves to be in Mortal Kombat. Like he's super violent. There's all these cool like X-ray blood bone breaking type scenarios, and people just get horribly mangled. It's a big war between Santa and these like trespassers with weapons and Trudy, who's also got her own like Home Alone traps. So it's a fucking crazy movie, and I would definitely say you should see it. Go see it in the theaters if you haven't. Let me see what the chat's saying right now. Hey, have Cheetah will review. I'm gonna be on his show next week, the 27th, I believe. So check out that. We were gonna do the onion, or not the onion, the menu. Sorry, we were. I think I was thinking of glass onion. That's LOLZ really wants to see. But we were gonna do the menu as well at 8 o'clock tonight after this. But Gory of UC is like not with me, and as I said earlier, she's sick, so I'm gonna wait till next week to do that with her as well. So we'll talk about the menu. John Leguizamo is in both of these movies. The only thing I want to say about the menu right now is I just told you in Violent Night he is like the head honcho of the hosties. Like he's taking all the hostages because he wants all this money. But in the menu, he is a hostage. So that's like the role switch for, and we watched them back to back last night. They go really well together. They both have like these uppity, stuffy people that you don't necessarily like, but you know they're pretending to be interested in stuff mostly for gain of some sort, like social status and the menu or whatever, as foodies and critics. And this, you know, they're sucking up to relatives because they want cash, but they're very similar type people. And it's kind of cool to see John Leguizamo back to back, but switching roles for him. We got podcast in the woods. How we doing? It's on Joe Bob the other night. Oh yeah, talking about Joe Bob. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen the Ghoul Time get together on Shutter, Joe Bob, you need to go check that out. Also, his auction for charity is still happening right now. I think some of the items you can still bid for. Certain ones ended. Like I think someone was like bidding to get married by Joe Bob. Like he will do your wedding at Vegas. I think that one ended, but there's still a few of them that I think are still going right now. You can also go to Fright Rags and buy like some T-shirts and hoodies and stuff to go to charity as well. So you know, time to give if you can. Want to throw that out there? Yeah. All right. But so Violent Night, uh, I'm not really gonna go into spoilers. It's kind of what it is. There's no reason to talk about spoilers. I'm not gonna tell you how it ends. It's just extremely violent ending, and it just gets more and more violent as it goes, and funnier as it goes. I think I pretty much just told you everything I really want you to know about it until you go see it for yourselves if you haven't. So that's about it. I say see it, and well, until next week or sooner. I got some band boxes I need to have up soon, and possibly a review that's not live coming up soon. But we'll see. If you liked Violent Night, tell me what you thought of it. If you're watching this while it's not live, go ahead and leave the comments down below. Oh, well, tell your wife I said hi, Tatum. And, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that. Want to say that to everybody in the chat. We got Michaela Jones. How you doing? Yes, this version of Santa is my favorite version of Santa's. I agree, Michaela. This was really good. I've seen a lot of horror, violent, or whatever, scary ass Christmas movies recently. I think Christmas, Bloody Christmas, or yeah, Christmas, Bloody Christmas was good. Could have done a little more with its themes, but it was really good and really violent. This movie does amazing with its themes, but there's the ones I saw like Were Deer, such a cool premise, but not a great movie. The Killing Tree, which there's a part of it that I really like, because about a third of it is a guy in this dressed up like a suit, almost like he's Corey Feldman from Gremlins, and he's got this tree suit, and it's not a guy in a tree, it is just a real tree that's killing people, but it's funny because it's an awkward suit. You can tell there's somebody in it, and he's killing people with his lights and ornaments, and runs around with a knife sometimes. That part's hilarious, but most of the movie he's a bad CGI tree that doesn't look anything like it, and he's like 3 times taller, so it's like, and he just kills people with these weird Dr. Octopus tentacles that he has, and it just gets old real quick. I think if they would have stuck with the practical, it would have been a really good movie. But Brandon of Bedlam, how would you compare this movie to Christmas Bloody Christmas? This movie I would say is a little better because it really leans into its themes more, like Santa and his magic and all that stuff. They really lean into it. I think Christmas Bloody Christmas was great. I liked it, but it didn't lean into its sci-fi themes near enough. Like the Santa had no personality, even though it was a robot. It still could have said stuff. It'd be funny if it talked like Arnold Schwarzenegger and said "Merry Christmas," you know, and punish. That would have been great. They did a lot. They took a lot from Terminator. Why not give it a cool voice? It was supposed to talk. It also just didn't. I don't know. It wasn't sci-fi enough, and most of the kills were just stabbing with an axe. It was great though. I love Christmas Bloody Christmas, but I love this one a little bit more because the kills are way more original. They lean into their Christmas themes way harder. Yeah, they're a little different because you know that one's evil Santa. This is Santa fighting evil, but I would say you should see them both, but definitely go see Violent Night in the theaters if you can, if you haven't yet, because it's great. It might not technically be a horror movie, though. I would say a lot of people who aren't used to ultra violent movies or horror movies would probably be horrified and maybe even traumatized by this movie. So I think it's close enough for me to count it. Oh, I do want to see the mean one. Unfortunately, our Cheetah, yeah, Cheetah will review. He points it out. I want to see that so bad. I want to see the mean one. I wanted to do a review, one of these up that we just saw us for that right before Christmas, but it does not look like our theater is going to get that one. It hasn't gotten it, and I doubt it will. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to see it before Christmas, sadly. But I don't know. If you guys are still down for it, even if it is a little bit after Christmas, and I finally do get a chance to check it out, I could do a live review for it regardless, even if it's a little bit after. Yeah, I did hear that James Cameron might be rebooting Terminator. You know what? I don't know. I mean, the last couple of Terminators, they were good and not good at the same time. I loved the first two, and I look back on all the sequels, and I remember when I was pretty disappointed with three, but now I look back and think, three wasn't that bad compared to some of the other sequels. But I don't know. Maybe if it start from scratch, maybe it would be good. I don't know. I don't think any Terminator is ever going to be as good as Part Two or Part One. Even like those are just amazing. But we'll see. I mean, I love the Terminator itself. Um, maybe give us a Terminator versus RoboCop movie. There's a video game and comic book of it, so shit, give us the Terminator versus RoboCop movie. Or Terminator versus Superman. That happened in the comics too. Did you like it? Uh, Uh, Ariel, speaking of Lethal Weapon, there's a movie that actually I never saw. I think it came out in 2020 or 2020. It was called Fat Man, and it had Mel Gibson, and he was like a Santa that was kind of like this Santa here, but not. I think it was a mixture of like this one and the movie the show The Hogfather from Terry Pratchett, because in that Santa someone put a hit out on him. I think it's some kid who got a piece of coal. I haven't seen Fat Man though. I don't know. I mean, Mel Gibson, but at the same time, it does look pretty good. So I don't know. Joe Lynch recommends it. I might have to check out Fat Man as well. Yes, I am drinking eggnog with some spiced rum inside. Getting that festive holiday cheer the best way I can. I mean, there's lots of snow outside, and not looking forward to shoveling that snow and then going to work. But it'll have to be done. Gory likes whiskey in her eggnog. I prefer rum. Because I'm a pirate. Arr. Did you know in Italy, they don't believe in Santa Claus? They believe it's a witch that delivers their presents. They have a Christmas witch. Her name is La Befana. La Befana. I guess that's better than La Lorena or whatever, the one lady who drowns your kids and eats their souls or whatever. I thought I'd just throw out that random witch fact there, because my wife's an awesome witch. Anyways, so like I said, Violent Night, amazing. There's some cool blood involving candy canes, hammers, icicles, lots of Home Alone traps like cinder blocks and bowling balls and nails and tar and goo and all that kind of stuff. So much great kills in this. Epic kill with a chimney itself. That's just like, goddamn, man. You have to see this if you like anything. Like I said, Santa Claus should be in Mortal Kombat. Like, they really should. They should put there's a couple of versions of Santa Claus that I've seen throughout the years that should be in that movie or in that game, I guess. But yeah, I'd play as Santa Claus. All right, go check out Violent Stream. Highly recommend. I'm probably gonna own this. It's for me, it's an own it. Right now, I'd say see it in the theaters if you can, or stream it whenever you can. But yeah, I'm gonna own this. This is one I will probably watch. Maybe not every Christmas, but it will rotate throughout the years. I think I will enjoy this throughout, the years to come through the holiday season. All right. So that's it for me. I'm gonna see you next week. Cut.